Sup, Nerdmigos? I'm the Jive talking John Norgrove, and welcome to Pint Night, the once weekly little get together where I talk about whatever the heck I want to talk about whilst drinking a pint. Mostly to justify me drinking a pint. So, yeah. Tonight I'm drinking. Today it's daytime because these are gonna be late sometimes because I'm busy. So, life happens. But today I'm drinking Hop Rod Rye IPA, which is super delicious from Bear Republic. I work for them, which is why I have some. But yeah, it's gonna change up as, beers become available and unbecome available and such. So grab your favorite pint and tag along. Let's get on this. So firstly, we're just gonna hit some of the shows that I'm watching and whatnot. But first thing I wanted to talk about was Star Trek Prodigy, alright? Prodigy has been, I've been, back and forth on it pretty much this whole time, the whole time that it's been on, right? I'm not a huge fan of a few of the main characters. Dahl, specifically, is, super annoying, but also, Janeway's on the show, and I love Janeway to death, and the giant rock person is awesome, and Jankum Pog is super awesome, and the Lovecraftian horror, that to look upon drives you mad, which, I literally called, is awesome, obviously. I feel like Lovecraftian horrors are now canonically part of Star Trek, so I fully support. But, yeah, I had, a super great time with the show. And then the other show that we're watching, regularly is, the Book of Boba Fett. And the Book of Boba Fett, alright, man, so, is the Book of Boba Fett beautiful? Yes, I was talking to some of the guys at work the other day, and I was just like, the show is literally more beautiful than the last, 5 Star Wars movies, technologically speaking. It's so good, and the blur between practical and CGI is, so amazing, right? But at the same time, I don't know why any of the things are happening. It's one of those shows where, every time we watch it, I'm like, that was dope, but also, what's going on? What's the reasoning behind all of this stuff? It's fun, and I enjoy the show. I kind of feel like I actually like Book of Boba Fett more than The Mandalorian, and I don't know if that's, a hot take or not, because I don't know what other people think, but, in my opinion, Book of Boba Fett is a more interesting show, and I super love, his, hench lady, sidekick, the gal who's actually running the show. She seems significantly more decisive than him. She's super awesome, and Shadow Chewbacca, I'm given, also, most of the things that I talk about are gonna have nicknames, and you're just gonna have to figure that out, cause I'm not great with names, human or otherwise, but, so, Shadow Chewbacca's dope, and, it's nice to see Mandalorian, in the show, that's dope, but, some of the stuff, man, it's talking about the Force and oh, you gotta give up all your connections to become a Jedi, that, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. But, it's a fun show, so, whatever, go on with that. The next thing I wanted to talk about is drunk anime. So if you've been watching our channel for a super long time, we used to do these anime reactions where we'd have friends and family over and just drink a bunch and react to an anime. So we're gonna bring that back, but we're gonna kind of change it up a little bit. The reaction space is kind of a nightmare, so I don't want to deal with that, mostly. So instead, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna do we're basically gonna do a review of these anime, the whole series at the end of them. Not every episode or whatever. We're going to do a review of these anime, and then we're going to intersperse some footage of our reactions, so that way it's still a little bit more raw that, but also a little bit more organized in the form of a review. But also the reason why we're watching these anime is that at the end of May, we plan on doing a podcast episode of our podcast, the Horn and Cauldron podcast, about witchcraft in anime, or magic in anime is more accurate. We've chosen 5 anime, and we're going to watch through all of them and like take notes and then like discuss them and break them down and stuff like that. So like stay tuned for that. That's going to be at the end of May. And that's going to be super fun. So that's coming soon. And then the last thing I really kind of wanted to hit on, was kind of part of my, like, New Year's resolution stuff, right? So, my New Year's resolution was basically to, like, eat a little healthier and exercise a little bit more. Eating a little healthier, like, you know, I'm, like, using an app. Like, I'm tracking calories, but, like, I don't really care about, like, the calories part so much. I'm primarily doing it for monitoring protein intake so I don't get like migraines and stuff, but also just like the idea of logging your food certainly prevents you from like getting a candy bar every 30 minutes from the old candy box, if you have one of those. We do. But so like I've been doing that, and then I was like, all right, like I want to start working out or like exercising a little bit more or whatever, but also we don't have a gym near us, and, like, it's winter time, so I want to be, like, outside pumping iron or whatever the heck. So even though we have, like, a bajillion weights, I was just like, no, I don't really want to do that. So we ended up getting an Oculus 2?
3?
Whatever the best Oculus is, whatever the newest one is, I don't know, whatever. We have one of the Oculi, and so I've been like, all right, we're gonna play some of that, and so like every day I get between like 30 minutes and an hour, pretty much right after I clock out of work. I just like go into the kitchen, and we've got like enough space in there to like set up a little zone or whatever, and so I like do Oculus like every day after work, and it has been super awesome. And I've like specifically been doing like less story-driven stuff and more like movement, physical exercise kind of stuff, which is fun. I mean, it means that I still haven't finished the Darth Vader Star Wars experience game thing, which like I've only ever heard great things about. And we downloaded, but I haven't finished that yet. And I haven't gone through RE7. We got Resident Evil 7 for it, which is like amazing. It's super, super fun. But, like, so I haven't gone through that all the way yet, but I have been playing, like, 3 particular games with regard to like, physical workout, movement sort of stuff. Workout, quotes, right? But, okay, so the first game is Beat Saber, which is fun, and I enjoy. We, like, immediately bought a couple of we got, like, the Linkin Park soundtrack, and we got the Imagine Dragons soundtrack, and we got what was the third track that we got? Panic at the Disco soundtrack. And like the Linkin Park one, I think is the best. In the beginning, I was just like, the Imagine Dragons one is dope, but the Linkin Park one is like really good. The soundtrack pack. So like that was dope, and we're like getting that, and I'm playing that, and that was fun, and it's good work. You know, like it's like a warm up sort of exercise game. I also found a couple of online, like you go into the browser on the Oculus and you can find it like knockoffs. One of them where instead of having like laser swords, you have like boxing gloves and you like punch to the beat. And it seems to be, I don't know, porting music through like YouTube or something like that. But that one's super fun. A little bit more of a workout, but it's also like, because it's not like an optimized standalone game, it's in the browser, it's like a little glitchy, and sometimes like it'll like make the physical like explodey effect of you making contact, but then make the noise that you didn't make contact, and you're like, I don't know what happened. So like I get it, that's fine. But I was like randomly going through the stuff on the app, like, you know, what games are available on the app or whatever, and I found this awesome game called Ragnarock. And Ragnarock is like, it's like a drum simulator, and you're like you're like the captain or whatever, the drum person of like a Viking longship, and you're basically just racing other Viking longships through these like sort of like polygonal, like exaggerated, like stylized, like Viking landscapes. It is fucking beautiful to the point of being distracting from playing this fucking game. Right? I had to like focus on not being like, oh, look at that, and the notes are just fly past me like blomp, 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 blomp. You're not paying attention, right? But it's like beautiful, like scenes that you're in, and it has awesome music, like legit amazing music. So it's super fun and super amazing. I highly recommend. I don't think it was very expensive, but it's super fun. Like, no connection. I just am super in love with, obviously, the whole Viking thing, and like rock and like metal and, you know, Celtic music and Celtic rock and all that kind of stuff. And it has like all the stuff that I want. I want like more. Like, I want more music. I like make purchasable music packs, partner with studios or with bands. I don't care what it takes. It's so much fun. Highly recommend this game. Again, though, it's like a warm-up game, so I generally like play a couple of songs and then exercise on Oculus and then play a couple of songs as like a warm-up and cool-down game, just because it's really just like moving your arms, and like I'm in the kitchen with like the big bloody goggles on, like moving my arms and dancing around to this rock, like enjoying the music, so it's like, it's fun, but it's also challenging, which is nice. But the main game that I've been playing for exercise is Pistol Whip. Like, I found a YouTuber who specializes in talking about, like, VR exercise games, and he recommended it, and I was just like, you know what? Like, it looks super fun. I'm gonna check it out anyway. So I bought the game and started playing, and, like, immediately fell in love with it. The learning curve is, like, very simple. It's very straightforward. You have two guns. You point them down to reload, you shoot things. They have like a number of rounds counter in the like floating above it, hologram style, and you're like shooting these, like, again, stylized like polygon, whether it's like agents, like dudes in suits, or like robots, or like cowboys or whatever. But it's really fun, and so you're shooting these guys, but also they're shooting at you, and so you gotta like dodge, dip, dive, duck, dive, and dodge, or whatever. And it's, as well as there's like barriers that you gotta like duck underneath and like dodge side to side. And the game goes from like, all right, that seems like a straightforward concept. You shoot at a guy shoots at you, you dodge the bullets, piece of cake. It immediately becomes like infinitely difficult once you start adding like add-ons or doing like the higher difficulty levels, or the campaign, which I've played all the way through the campaign and beat the whole campaign. I've played through all of the available levels, and now I generally do like a couple of my favorite levels and like the daily challenge. Like, I'll do a couple of my favorite levels and then I'll do the daily challenge until I beat it, and if I still have time, I'll do like one more favorite level before jumping out and getting back. And that like gets me into the high end of the fat burning zone, low end of the cardio zone, like no problem at all. I'm not just like standing straight up tall, like, like I'm in like 3/4 to full on horse stance while I'm playing. So like I'm real low to the ground with like, my legs spread a little bit wider. And just because it's more efficient to like dodge that way, plus it lets you like stand up taller if a bullet's coming in at like a bad angle or whatever. Well, a good angle for them, bad angle for me. But so like, it's super fun. It's a super good exercise. The music in this fucking game, holy shit, it is so good. Like, astronomically good. It is a beautiful game. The set pieces are beautiful. The response is awesome. The bullet dodging is fantastic. Like, I have zero complaints about this game, with the exception that I want more levels. Give me an update. Like, I don't even care how much it freaking costs. Like, give me an update. Give me more campaign. The two campaigns, there's like a cyberpunk, like sci-fi campaign, and like a cowboy and western campaign. Both campaigns are so good. Like, the second I started the first campaign, because like I played through all the arcade mode, and then was like, all right, I'm gonna start the campaign. And I played through the first campaign, and immediately was like, all right, this is like, I'm hooked. more. Give me more. It does the campaign as like levels, and then in between each level there's like a visual like comic book sort of thing to like tell you the story that like explains what's happening in the levels. It's awesome. The soundtracks in all of this are awesome. I'm like super hooked on the music. It's a great game and it's great exercise. If you have an Oculus, highly recommend Pistol Whip. Far and away my favorite game on the Oculus. And there's a Viking game with dope metal. Like, and Pistol Whip still somehow rises above, right? Just because of the level of physicality you can have when in that game. Some of these daily challenge levels are like legit hateful. You know, like they are so hard, and like there was one that I was playing the other day, and I swear I played through this level like 9 times before I got through. I was just like, dude, it's so much, right? They had like so many bullets or too many bullets or whatever that mod is on. So like they were just like raining bullets at you. Like every dude who came out was like bah, 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 like machine gun style. And on top of that, all the enemies took twice as much damage to kill. And we had an eye for an eye on, which is like where when you shoot at somebody, if it hits them, if your bullet hits them, it fires another bullet back on the original trajectory, which is just like, you're just, the whole time, you're just like, woo, 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 woo. You're like Gumbying up, trying to like fucking not get hit, right? Just like, wah, wah, whilst also trying to keep track of like enemies just be like, because they just like fucking teleport into existence. It was so much fun. Oh my God, I love this game so much. But so yeah, I definitely highly recommend that. And, you know, like in general, I think that using the Oculus as like an impromptu exercise sort of thing, and I was basically like at the beginning of the year I was like, we have an Oculus now, I'm gonna do this and just like see what it's like, and if like I'm not into it, then I'll just like get the weights out from like the back, like the front of the house, and just like do like curls and push-ups and crunches and shit, right? Like standard issue. And honestly, I have yet to reach a point where I'm just like doing everything Oculus and not like feeling the burn. Like I'm feeling the burn. Sometimes I get up the next day and like my legs are sore, my arms are sore or whatever. So it's like, it's fun. It's not like heavy workout, you know, it's not like go to the gym TM, but like it's really dope. And I super appreciate that you can do that kind of fun stuff in VR space. And like, in my opinion, if you have one or if you're on the fence about it, like do it, get it, exercise, like play for 30 minutes every day. Yeah, you can play the stories and do all that kind of stuff. And that stuff is fun. And some of the visual stuff is fun. And there's like a Zen meditation game that I like and like a bunch of stuff like that. But like, yeah, definitely check it out. I had a ton of fun with it. But yeah, so we're at the end of the pint, and I guess this will be the end of the show. These should be coming out on Fridays again, but I can't make any guarantee on that. So like, stay tuned. You know, what do you think about those games and the shows and all the stuff that I talked about? You just comment on the dibbly-doo below. But, and check out our podcast. We're slowly ramping up to having more and more, videos out, on a weekly basis. So, you know, check all that stuff out. We have a pub chat coming up, in a couple of days, so stay tuned for that, a Horn and Cauldron podcast pub chat. But yeah, either way, I've been John Norgrove. This has been this is supposed to be Friday Night Pints, but it's just Pint Night, and it's a little late, so that's okay. You know, whatever. But yeah, if don't forget to like this video, comment below, share, subscribe, do the things that all YouTubers are supposed to do, and I am horribly bad at reminding people to do. And I will catch you on the flip side. It's a good pint.